Good morning, welcome to another FAQ Friday. Today I'm doing a video because I'd rather do a video and speak to you as opposed to writing today. So I've got 3 questions for you. I'm just going to pull up my email here. Every week my team selectively throws a couple emails my way that I can answer for you, so I'm going to take 3 of them right here. The first one comes from Tom, and he wants to know, just last week I found out that I have plaque buildup in my arteries. One of the first things the doctors recommend is low saturated oils, like olive oil. I guess he's talking about low saturated fat oils. Yet up to now I've been following Yuri's advice and using coconut oil, which is a saturated fat. He claims this is better even though it has 5 times the fat of olive oil. What do I do? Alright, so first of all, Tom, obviously I'm not a doctor. You must follow your doctor's advice. I'm not telling you to do any kind of crazy thing with your medication or anything else. With that said, plaque buildup is not a fat thing, okay? It really has very little to do with your fat intake over the course of your lifespan. And the reason for that is because fats are very important for the health of your cells. So even though you've been having coconut oil, it would be very surprising to me if coconut oil was the cause of this. And it's very tough to determine one single cause out of your entire lifestyle with respect to plaque buildup in your arteries, other than, for instance, smoking. What we do know with respect to plaque buildup is it's not a fat thing. Unless you're eating a lot of vegetable oils like canola oil, soybean oil, a lot of those omega-6 rich vegetable oils, which become very problematic because of how rancid they are, and if you use them in cooking. Those become very problematic because in the body they become free radicals very easily, and they can damage and scar your arteries. And this is what happens most often with people with atherosclerosis, which is essentially a plaque buildup and a hardening of the arteries. Is that damage occurs to the arteries from some type of free radical damage, for instance, smoking, chemicals, vegetable oils that are high in omega-6, sugar, acid foods. Over time, again, this doesn't happen overnight, but over time, that continual scarring can damage the interior, the lumen as it's called, of the arteries. And when that happens, your body then sends a message to say, hey liver, we need some cholesterol to kind of patch things up. So cholesterol is always moving throughout the body to go to your cells for the cell membrane. And if cholesterol sees this damage to the arteries, it will be deposited there as a way of healing and kind of patching things up. Okay, so the issue is not so much, I mean, there's been a lot of studies done on the benefits of coconut oil and some saturated fats with respect to just health in general. The old thinking was that saturated fats led to heart disease, and we now know that that's completely false for the most part. But your doctor is right in recommending lower saturated fats like olive oil. Olive oil has been found pretty much across all studies to be beneficial to preventing heart disease and dealing with that. And that's why a Mediterranean type diet, which is very high in olive oil and monounsaturated fats like avocado, for instance, is very beneficial for that. So should you discontinue the use of coconut oil? I personally don't think so. It has a lot of very good health benefits, but again, you want to double check this with your doctor. I'm not saying that your doctor really knows much about nutrition, but again, I'm not going to override that medical advice. So I just wanted to clear that up for you, Tom. Again, olive oil is great. You want to look at things maybe even like a fish oil or a omega-3 fatty acid. Fish oil really is the best kind. If you want to go with an algae oil or a hemp or flaxseed oil, you can do that as well to reduce some of the inflammation in your arteries. So I hope that helps you out. And with that said, let's move on to the next question, which comes from Ricky. Ricky, this is a longer question, so I'm just going to get to the gist of it. She wants to know about Candida soy and BioTrust cookies. Essentially, she's got Candida, and she wants to know, the first part of the question is whether eating fermented foods is good if you've got Candida. The answer to that is absolutely yes, because fermented foods actually contain live cultured bacteria, good bacteria, which is going to help fend off the Candida. So by all means, the kefir, fermented cabbage, miso, all that good stuff is amazing, not only for Candida, but just general health. So by all means, go for it. Second thing she wants to know is with respect to soy and the BioTrust cookies. So BioTrust is a company that produces some really good supplements. They actually have a new cookie that's come out. I've tasted it personally. It's pretty good. She wants to know about something on the food label. It's gluten-free, gluten wheat-free, but and soy-free, but it does contain soy lecithin. Is that a problem? She wants to know, is the source of the soy an issue? Okay, well, to be honest, I'm not too sure where they're sourcing that soy lecithin from. So it's basically just like an emulsifier, just kind of thickens things up a little bit more. Is that really a problem with respect to not eating the cookies at all? I don't know. I mean, personally, I would make your own cookies. It's really simple to make some amazing cookies. Yeah, I mean, you don't necessarily have to, like, BioTrust cookies are good, but do you need to buy them? I don't necessarily know. You can make amazing things at home with very simple ingredients like almond flour, and there's tons of great recipes. You don't necessarily have to buy packaged stuff that, you know, supposedly is going to help you burn belly fat. So it's up to you. If you want to buy the cookies, go for it. I think they're pretty good. They're one of the better cookies that I've seen on the market. Having said that, I think you're a lot better off making your own cookies from scratch. You can make them in no time at all, and they'll be much better for you because you know exactly what is going into that cookie. So hopefully that helps you out. Thanks for your question, Ricky. The final question comes from Wind, and he or she, I'm not too sure if it's a female or male, so I apologize, wants to basically said, I felt shocked after reading this article of yours. I thought you were a raw foodist who promotes veganism, but ended up you're promoting the idea of eating fish to get omega-3. I was about to promote your products to my subscribers who are all vegetarians and vegans, but now I have second thoughts and would like to hear your stand about why you talked about the goodness of fish. Well, first of all, let me tell you that I don't apologize for that because I'm not a raw foodist, and nowhere in any of the stuff that I've ever done have I said that I'm a raw foodist. I promote the idea and the importance of eating more raw foods, but I understand that being a raw foodist is not the healthiest way to live, okay? So nowhere have I said you have to be a raw foodist. I don't want people to get the impression that I'm a raw foodist or that you need to be a raw foodist. That is not what this is about. Everybody is on a different journey with respect to their health. You need to find what works for you. All I can say from the research and from my experience is that eating more raw foods, and more is the key word there, is beneficial to your health. Now, I'm not going to sit behind my desk and be an idiot and recommend things that I know are not as beneficial as something else. So as an example, if I were a hardcore fanatical raw foodist and I said the only thing we should all be eating is our plants in the raw food state, and for an omega-3 supplement, the only option then would be, for instance, like a raw flaxseed oil or a raw hemp seed oil, and that's pretty much, you know, the gist of it, okay? Or maybe an algae oil, but, you know, let's just stick with the plant stuff on the hemp and flaxseed side. But as we've seen and as the research has shown numerous times, the human body only converts omega-3 to EPA and DHA, which are the ultimate byproduct he wants, at a rate of 1%, which is very, very, very ineffective. So, I mean, again, I understand if, like, for moral reasons or ethical reasons, you don't want to have animal products of any kind, and that's fine. That's totally fine. But if we're talking about health and being a smart consumer and making the best possible decision with respect to certain nutrients, then it would be very naive of me to say that fish oil is unacceptable. Okay, because fish oil it's so much better as a source of EPA and DHA than anything else. So I wanted to put that out there, and I wanted to put it out there in a very objective way, showing you that this is what the research shows is a better version of omega-3s. So again, it's not about, for me, it's not about being dogmatic about this stuff. It's not about saying you have to be vegan and that's the only way to eat ever. Because it's not necessarily true for all people. Some people need to have meat, some people don't. You know, you have to find what works for you. And my goal is to present you with the information that will enable you to make a better decision with respect to your health, okay? So again, I appreciate the feedback, Wind. I don't apologize for promoting fish oil because I believe it's incredible. I use it every single day, in spite of the fact that I, for the most part, follow a pretty vegan, vegetarian diet. Okay, for me, I don't eat a lot of meat, but I'm not going to be ridiculous about this kind of stuff either. So, hope that answers your questions. Thanks again. I hope you guys have a great Friday, and we'll see you in the next video.